Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and today we are reviving my Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette from holiday 2018. I just wanted to do this series. I kind of wanted to find a way to regularly incorporate older palettes into my content on my channel. So many times we buy new palettes after new palettes after new palettes and we never get back to the older palettes no matter how much we might want to. And so I thought this series would be a great idea. I thought it would be fun to revive some of my older palettes, do some looks that I've never created before with them, remind myself why I purchased them, remind myself why I love them, and then hopefully reach for them more in the future, as well as just sort of building that mind palace of makeup that I talk about where I have that color recall. Like if I really want a beautiful, bold magenta or fuchsia shade, I can remember that, boom, it's in this palette, and I can create a look by way of recalling the colors in different palettes. So I hope this will be an encouragement to you. You do not need this palette. You do not even need these exact same colors. Search in your collection if you want to follow along. Look for similar shades. I'm going to, like I said, create some looks that I've not done before with this palette. So why don't we go ahead and get into the first look. Hello, party people. It's bright and early and we're diving into my Gingerbread Spice palette. I think this one is extra spicy, not the new one. I want to do something that I've never done with this palette before, so I'm going to go ahead and start out with this one right here, which is Gingerbread Latte. I am primed with my Essence I Heart Stage eyeshadow base. I'm still kind of testing that one, so I was thinking this morning, I wonder if anybody else does this. I remember exactly where I was and what we were doing when my husband ordered this palette for me. So we were in Estes Park actually, staying in a cabin, my husband and I and our two kiddos, and he and I were just kind of laying around in the morning looking at who knows what on our phones. To me, this palette really speaks fall, and I just was immediately enthralled with this palette. And I showed it to my husband. I was like, oh my goodness, look at this. It smells like gingerbread. It doesn't. It smells, but it doesn't smell like gingerbread to me. It's not spicy enough to be gingerbread. And he's like, oh, let me see. I handed him my phone and I walked off because, I don't know, I needed to talk to one of the kids or something. And when I come back, my phone's laying on the bed with the confirmation for the order. That's just how my hubby is. He spoils me. We've already talked about that. I'm gonna go into the shade Gingerbread now. This one right here is just slightly darker and a little bit warmer. I'll start this on the outer part of my lid and then work it into the crease just to deepen things up a little bit. So anyways, I just thought it was funny. I was thinking about it this morning as I was applying my other makeup, and I just remember, you know, exactly where we were when hubby surprised me with this palette. So let me know down in the comments if I'm totally weird. It does certainly build a certain amount of sentimental qualities to the palette, I will say that. Alright, next I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is called Bake It Till You Make It. What would I call this? I would call this just a chocolate brown shimmer, like a milk chocolate brown shimmer. I'm going to place this on the outer third of the lid and just blend it up just barely into the crease. And this is such a beautiful, rich brown. The reason I decided to revive this palette specifically One, it's in my Shop My Stash for fall, my fall must-haves, but also I didn't get to use this for fall last year. I believe when it was released was in November, October or November, I don't remember. And so I really didn't get to use this for fall at all.
Let's just rhyme, shall we?
Before we go in the next shade, I'm going to apply the NYX glitter glue just on the inner 2/3 of the right eye. One of my favorite shades in this palette is this yellowy gold shimmer right here called Warm and Toasty. What would I call? I would call this like a mustard yellow shimmery goldish color, or like a kind of tarnished gold maybe. We'll see once we get on the eye. But this is definitely one that I like to apply over a glitter glue. And this is definitely a look I haven't done with this palette. I feel fallout. That's no good. I wonder if I should just go in with my finger. Really don't want fallout all over my face. Alright, going in with the old phalange here. Oh yeah, better. Compress that in. And then just for a little extra moment, I'm gonna take the shade Spiked Eggnog and just layer that over the gold on the very inner third of the lid. This is such a beautiful, soft, champagne colored shadow. I think most of us have a shade like this in our collection. And as always, I'm going to kind of pull this up into the crease so that it gives a lift to the eye. So I'm going to just mimic on the lower lash line what we did in the crease and kind of speed through it for time's sake. So I'm going to go in with gingerbread on the lash line, very close to the lash line, and then go back into gingerbread latte and buff it out. I can't decide if I want to go in with the lighter purple or the darker purple. I think this is going to actually look purple. That one is Figgy Pudding, the lighter of the two. I'm just going to put this on the very outer V/outer part of the lid just for some fun. And actually, I really love purple and yellow together, so purple and gold has to be good, right? Bring this down just a tinge on the outer part of the lower lash line. All right, last thing is a brow bone and inner corner. I don't always do a brow bone, but I'm feeling it today. And I'll use the same shade for the brow bone. It's this shade right here. It's sort of just a cream matte shade called Powdered Sugar. And I've actually been really digging mattes for an inner corner highlight lately because I am aging and I get more and more texture on my eyes all the time. I think it's a lot more flattering to use a matte inner corner highlight. I'm so excited. All my brushes are clean. I was so excited to get up and apply makeup today just because my brushes are clean. I'm super excited. There's nothing better. So here is the finished look. I got some new hoops and they're gigantic, and I'm really glad that I revived this palette for this look. Stay tuned for the second look, and I hope you're feeling inspired to revive one of your palettes, whether it's this one, whether it's one that's dupey of this one, or what have you. Let's get into the next. Hi guys, let's go ahead and get into the second look with the good old Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette. Regardless of my green shirt, I think we're going to do a purple look today, and I feel like purple and green go together. If not, that's okay too. I'm going to first go into this shade right here, which is called Figgy Pudding. Definitely a favorite shade in the palette, though I have definitely not done this particular look before. I'm going to just first press this into the outer part of the lid, and then go ahead and work it up into the crease. Now that I have it placed kind of where I generally want it, I need to sit up. I'm going to go ahead and blend it just a bit. I want to pull it into the inner part of the crease, and then I'm going to go back and blend it out with another shade. I was just noticing I actually have a dip in that shade. How exciting! Okay, for the inner part of the crease and kind of to blend out that figgy pudding shade, I'm going to go into the naughtiest shade in the palette, which is called Looking at My Cookie, Too Faced. And I'm going to start by packing this again into the crease transition area, starting on the inner part of the eye. Just to make sure we have the maximum pigment, press it into the concealer, which was unset. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the same shade and blend just all along the edge of the purple figgy pudding. I do love the names for the most part in this palette. I'm still confused as to why they are calling the new palette this year extra spicy. I think it probably should have been called way less spicy. All right, next we are going to apply some glitter glue, and then we'll go into the next shade. I'm going to next very carefully go into this shade right here, which is called Ooh, Burn. These shades are very chunky, and this one actually has visible bits of iridescent glitter in it. But I'm going to apply this over the entire inner 2/3 of the lid, very carefully, using more of a pressing motion than anything, just really pressing that down into the glitter glue, and then minimal swiping activity.
Swiper no swiping! Swiper no swiping! Swiper no swiping!
Oh man!
And I kind of bring it up toward the crease and then use that swiping motion as I get into the crease for like a blendy situation. Now, one of the shades that was a complete dud to me at first, or maybe it still is this very chunky white shade right here called Frostbite Me. This is very chunky. It almost immediately gets like this hard pan feeling, but I really want to try using it to lighten up sort of the inner third to half of the lid. So I think the best thing is going to be to apply just a touch more of the glitter glue, really using like tapping motions versus swiping or anything like that, so we don't disturb the purple underneath, like so. Let's try a brush first. I'm gonna use this. It's a flat shader brush, but it's a little thicker, a little denser than some of my other ones. I'm gonna scrub, whoa, kind of scrub that into there and then pat it. Oh, I already feel the fallout on the area where I applied the glitter glue. All right, I'm gonna try my finger. We'll see how we go with that. A little better. It's a really pretty color. I mean, I think it could be quite transformative if you can get it on. This is just, you know, part of why I wanted to bust out some older palettes. You know, a lot of times I review products and then I only get back to them, you know, every once in a while because I continue to buy things. I think I'm going to bring this out further than I originally intended, pretty much over the entire inner 2/3 of the lid, because I still want to deepen up the outer corner just a wee bit. And so I think I want it a little lighter on the lid than I originally planned. That's how we do. We roll with the punches. Just a teeny tiny little bit, I want to go into this deep purpley brown called Reindeer Paws right here. It's another really beautiful shade in the palette. I do like these plummy tones for winter, for holiday. I don't have any purple clothes, which is why I'm wearing a green shirt, but I still don't think it looks bad because I don't really like purple. I love purple on my eyes. Like I really like purple eyeshadow when I choose to do it and it, you know, whatever. But I really don't love purple. Just take a tiny bit of this and run this on like the outer third of the lower lash line. There, make sure she's connected with the upstairs. I'm just gonna take this brush that we used in the crease and just kind of buff the reindeer paws shade that we just applied toward the inner corner. I don't really want to go very heavy on the lower lash line just because, you know, we've got depth going on at the top. All right, we still need an inner corner. I usually really love this white shade right here called Powdered Sugar. Excuse the reflectiveness, but I think I want to try this light pink one. It's a matte as well called Sugar Daddy, and see if it does the same kind of brightening on the inner corner that the matte cream shade does. It would appear that it's going to. How lovely. So here is the final look. I actually really love how this turned out. I think it goes nicely with my green shirt. I set it off with a cream colored floppy sweater. These are my fave. I get these at Target. They're from the Wild Fable brand and they have a bunch of colors. I have 3 of them. We used quite a few shades in the 2 looks that I did this week. I am very excited about this series because, like I said, I have a real knack for buying new things, reviewing them, in which case I do use every shade in the palette, but then sometimes they sit around again. Like this one, I kind of picked up late in the game, maybe, I don't remember. The point is after I reviewed this, I didn't pick it up again. Maybe 1 or 2 times in the last year. I knew I was ready to pull this out for fall because to me, these are more like fall colors. I do wish that there was more than these 2 shades for lightening up the looks because there's a lot of depth, you know, from like here over. So, but that's a personal preference. You guys may not feel that way. But I do feel like I've reaffirmed my love or at least adoration for this palette. I really enjoyed doing this, creating new looks that I hadn't created before, as well as sort of reminding myself about why I purchased this palette and why I really like it. Thank you so much for spending a part of your day here with me today. I always appreciate each and every single one of you. If you like this kind of content, you could let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you join the little family that we have here and join the journey in beauty. And I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful, revived makeup days. And I will see you in my next video real soon.